Okay, I'm going to try to just do a quick video here and do a little update. Everything's doing great. I have not used anything but rainwater to water my garden this year. No municipal water. I used a little bit of well water because I ran out of my water out of my rain barrel over there. It started to leak. I've got to figure out something else to do about my rain barrel. But anyway, you see my corn's coming in right here. And it's already starting to get the little, I don't know, it's silk or something on it. I'm going to try to cover this up with maybe some wedding veil fabric or something to keep it from cross-pollinating with maybe other corn that's growing in the area, just in case. This is an heirloom corn, so I want to kind of protect it as best I can. I've read, I think, that you can, corn can cross-pollinate at around 3 kilometers or something, like a really long distance, and I'm not real sure on that, but I'm going to cover it up anyway here very shortly. I'm proud to say also that I have not used chemical fertilizers at all this year. I'm going totally organic. So I have used just things from my compost and compost tea, and so that's been great. And I also have used, I've not used any insecticides at all. Just used organic insecticides. I've used neem seed oil. I spray that once a week with a 1-gallon sprayer. I go through my whole garden and I try to spray underneath the leaves because I can kind of turn the end of the sprayer up and it hits underneath the leaves. And that's a fungicide and an insecticide, and it's all natural. And it's worked pretty well so far. I've had a problem with worms. That's been my biggest. That's what I'm fighting right now. In April, there were slugs, and then in May, and now it's too hot for slugs, and now worms are coming out, and worms are on everything. So I'm also spraying with BT, and I'm dusting with BT. It's called dipel dust, and that's, and BT is in that. That's organic. It's just a, bacteria that the worm, if he eats the leaf, he dies about 2 days later. So hopefully that will start to work and I won't have so much of a problem with worms. I can see I'm having a worm problem whenever I see a little hole on my leaf. Then I can go back and I can start looking underneath my leaves, and I usually can find the worm and pull him off. But I just don't want it to get out of control. I'm finding that on a lot of things right now, so I'm starting to have a bit of a worm problem. My best insect helper are these little toads that get into my bed, and they like to hide down in there, and they eat all the bad stuff. So I don't mind him down there. That's fine. Yes, sweetie? I don't know. That looks like a weed. And I've got Greek tomato here that I cannot wait to eat. It's wrapped up in a little footy stocking because I want to protect it. Got some more little red tomatoes over here. I want to add that. I'm having a Greek salad today. Over here I have a little red onion I'll put in that Greek salad. Looks like I've got just one of these onions are ready to go. Right there, poking up out of the ground there. And these are some of my heirloom tomato plants. This is the red Thai turtle egg. This one's the pink Thai turtle egg. And it is just covered up with tomatoes. And let's see. My onions are all bolting to seed for some reason. And my shallots, I don't know what's going on. If anyone knows why that's happening. I mean, I don't think that I've ever had it happen before. They just bolted to seed. This is a wonderful cucumber plant. Something's eating it up though, but I'm sure it's some worm. This is a market moor. For some reason it's doing so much better in this bed than over here. They just don't look healthy for some reason. These leaves look like they've got some kind of, I don't know, virus or fungus or something. Kind of browning around the edges, blotchy. Those are also market moors. And this right here is a honeydew. This is called orange honeydew. Now I already have my first cucumber. I'm so thrilled about the cucumber. It's going to go in my Greek salad today. It's right there. And it's a wonderful Swiss chard. I might do some kale. This kale here. I've pulled out a lot of my spring things. I pulled out a lot of kale. I pulled out almost all of my broccoli plants. I did all that last week. I have one more broccoli plant there and one here, and you can see where I had some slug problems. In this bed particularly, it was particularly bad in this bed. I don't think I put down enough slug bait. So I spent about 4 hours last week. One day, pulled out everything, all my spring, all my old broccoli plants and my kale plants that had bolted, and the old lettuce. And took about 4 hours to really just go through and do all that. One thing that I'm trying to do is stay on top of this year, any kind of fungus. I don't want it to spread through my garden. So at the base of all my plants, as you'll notice, I pulled off the leaves. Not all at one time. I did like the stems, you know, that were dragging on the ground or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep it off the soil. I don't want the leaves sitting on the soil, and you know, it can harbor funguses, bacteria, and makes a good bed for insects. So keep it nice and ventilated at the bottom. That's where I water anyway. You know, we always water at the bottom in square foot gardening. You don't water your leaves. So, like for instance, you see this yellowing leaf here? That would be something that when I do my 15-minute check every day at square foot gardening, I would remove it and put it in my, I wouldn't put this in my compost pile because I'm not sure why it's yellow. It has a fungus or something. I would just put it and discard it into the garbage. But I do that every day. I check for yellow leaves or anything like that. And again, I tried to keep the bottom of my plants nice and clean. So, I have really been enjoying some basil too. I mean, it's growing everywhere, and I have been picking up some tomatoes, organic tomatoes at the store, and it's worked out great. Here is an Uncle Mark Bagby plant, tomato plant, and it's dropped a lot of blooms, but it had a bad worm problem. I had worms eating the bottom of just about every tomato I had. So I covered up a couple because I'm going to eat a couple of these. And maybe I'll get some more coming back because I'm starting to spray real good for the worms. And then here, early girl tomatoes. Lots of those. It's the early producer. A lot of green beans. My eggplant. This is a Thai purple long eggplant. You know, so I got a little, we pulled off 2 worms off this morning. Starting eating it up. Look, no more asparagus for me. I'm letting it rest. I'm done with that. It was so wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Let's see what else I can show you over here. Don't ever plant milk thistle. This thing hurts like you would not believe. It's supposed to be a medicinal plant, and I definitely know I can grow it now, but it hurts. You can't even get close to it from all the thorns. Down on the leaves, they hurt. This is hyssop, and over there we have feverfew. Alright, blueberries. A couple more weeks on those. And let's see what else we have over here. The rain barrel's broken, sweetie. I wanted to show one more thing. Oh, here we have, my little boy wanted to plant this called patty pan squash. And it's supposed to be like a scalloped little round squash. It's not coming up yet, but it will. He wanted to plant this because my very, very best friend of 28 years passed away about a few weeks ago. Her name was Patty, so he wanted to plant something in memory of Patty. She had colon cancer. She was 42, and she was diagnosed last May with 4th stage colon cancer. She didn't have symptoms. So everybody out there, make sure to get your colon checked. I'm getting mine checked next week. Alrighty, well thanks for watching. Hope everybody out there is enjoying their garden.